Richard, tell us about the TRs you went through.
TRs, should I start with the whole program?
Yes,
Or...
start with the whole program and how it works.
Okay, well, I was there, the average person spends like 3 to 6 months. That's average, you spend longer. And you go and you do a detox, or withdrawal is what we call it. It's all vitamins. They don't give you Suboxone or methadone or anything like that.
Is it vitamin B12 and niacin?
Oh, niacin comes when you do the sauna portion, but they give you A and D, different B vitamins, C. I mean, just like they give you something called what we call them vitamin bombs or drug bombs, which is just this huge accumulation of vitamins to help supposedly aid in the process of withdrawing. After you go through withdrawal, you do book 1, which is essentially to acclimate the student with the TRs 0 through 9. They'll do like an abridged version of what they're going to have you do later on.
Do you still possess these books?
You know what? I didn't bring my books home with me, and I really wish I would have. I could probably find them. I know you can get them on eBay, but spend about a week and a half, 2 weeks at the most on book 1 usually. They do 0 through 9, and then you go into the sauna, which is where you do take your niacin and you take your vitamins, you take your oils. You start off in the sauna for, I think it's 3 hours, and you move 3.5 and 5 for all the other days. I know. I've done
that since I played football.
I know people that have spent months in the sauna. I spent 17 days, which really isn't that much. Basically, what they look for is you stop reacting with the niacin. Some people do what they call re-stimming, which is, I think it's more of people who were really big into coke and really big into crystal meth. They'll re-stim and they will feel high again, and that'll happen. They'll make sure that all the manifestations of vitamin deprivation, per se, are gone. So they move through that. After that, the next book you do touches upon misunderstood words, clearing misunderstood words. Then the next portion is a very intense TR book, where the TR zeros, which are TR position, which is like this, eyes open, eyes closed, and then something they call bull baiting, trying to distract the other person. Yeah. It is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. The longest eyes open and eyes closed I ever did were 2.5 hours long each. Supposedly they claim, the people who were the executives there, the people who were higher up, were really into it, claim that you can sit there for infinite amount of time and your head will just be cleared. I never got that. I just got really good at sitting still and dealing with the pain and stuff. A lot of people that come in to narCONon, especially now, are addicted to heroin and pain pills. Yeah. A lot of people have, I was in a car accident myself. A lot of people have car accidents, they have back injuries, they have, just all kinds of issues. And you sit in like very uncomfortable chairs, so you kind of just learn to cope with the pain. I don't know anyone that has gone through the program and hasn't continued with Scientology that actually can clear their head and what they call be there comfortably. No physicals, no somatics turn on. You're not thinking about anything. You hear stuff, but you're not taking it in, which I think is part of kind of the brainwashing effect, per se.
Yes.
That comes along with it.
Just
sitting there and hearing stuff and not taking it in. That's where the bull baiting comes in, where you have people yelling at you, trying to make you laugh, trying to gross you out, whatever, and you have to just maintain that. Each TR teaches something else. Controlling other people, controlling yourself, more in depth. I could definitely go into it, but there's 9 of them that they have you do. After that, you do the objective exercises. Like I said, we did 12 or 11 while we were there, 11 or 12, and I can't remember. It depends on my twin and I. We took 6 or 7 weeks in it. Some people only take 4. Some people take months and months to get through them. They're basically looking for, there are set written EPs and phenomena that they're looking for each objective. And
what do the objectives usually end up being?
Okay. What was
an example of an objective?
An objective, the last objective I did was 1 table this is the very last one. This is like the big one for everyone. You have one table, you have a book. The other table, across from it, a water bottle. You walk back and forth, and you deliver these commands. And this is where a lot of the TRs come into place, because you're running these objectives 9 hours a day, 8, 9 hours a day straight. I mean, you have like, you have like your lunch breaks for an hour or whatever, but then you're running these for hours at a time. And the person who is running them, your twin, gives the commands. So you walk over, and the person that's giving the commands can't show any emotion really. They can't like scratch and itch and be distracted. They have to be able to pick up anything that you're doing, like if you look like you're upset, if your mood has changed, if your tone has gone up or down, as they say. They have to, there's a certain way that you go about, you don't say what's wrong, you say what's going on or what's up. They don't want you to discredit the person. So there's just a certain way to go about all of this. Walk back, okay, so we're back, water bottle, book, walk there, look at that water bottle. Person does it, thank you. Pick up that water bottle, thank you. How much does it weigh? And there's a series of commands. You go back over to the book. You have the same commands for the book. You just go back and forth and back and forth. Now you get, people will have indicators that they show. They'll be in bad indicators, good indicators, very good indicators, DIs, GIs, VGIs. You have to record their indicators as you're going through the session, and any, oh my gosh, I can't even think of the term, any realizations that they have throughout it. You're going to record those too. Well, off of those realizations, the course supervisor is going to look over these, send it up to the case supervisor, who's really in charge, and see if you have hit the end phenomena for these objectives. Like I said, the second objective, my twin and I spent almost 2 weeks on it.
2 weeks?
Day in and day out doing it, and I was the one who got stuck and wasn't hitting the right realizations. And that one, you sit across from each other. Okay, let me get this right. If I'm running it on you, I say, give me that hand. They give you a hand. You take it, put it back in their lap. You do that. Then you get up and you have 2 walls you walk between. Look at that wall. Thank you. Walk over to that wall. Thank you. Touch that wall. Thank you. Turn around. Thank you. Turn around. Walk back to the other one. Do that. And then the next is, you have to follow the motion in their hand, and then the last part of objective 2 is following the motion. You move a book around and they have to do the exact same thing. It's very simple steps, and there are some very interesting outcomes. Things do come out. Now, I don't know if that's because after you do something for so long, you break and you go crazy. Sometimes,
I would think so.
Sometimes people who have gone through the objectives know the EP for the objective and kind of help people along, But I mean, you do get somewhere with them, and it is very interesting. So after you've completed objectives, you have your book, book 5, 6, 7, and 8 that you complete, and that's where the book that you did after you got out of sauna comes into play. Knowing how to clear all your words, and you will get spot checked. When I worked there, I had to check people out, so I had to be very proficient in knowing.
You worked.
I worked there for about 2 months after.
At an org or?
No, I worked at narCONon.
At narCOnon, okay.
Right. So, and I had to check people out in the book, so I had to be fairly proficient in knowing the vocabulary and knowing the definitions. The way they do things, they believe there are certain barriers to study. There's a misunderstood word, there's too steep a gradient when you're learning too fast, and then there's a lack of mass, or absence of mass. There's an absence of mass, not having something there to learn with. So they have many things they have you doing. You do demonstrations with rocks, you have to make clay demonstrations. You go through, if you're sitting at a table, and if you demonstrate or show a manifestation of a misunderstood word, which